as you take me on that Lexis tour. When I'm going home, it's drive time on joy. Whoa. Lexis, take me home. It's drive time on joy. Whoa. Lexis, take me home. Whoa. Lexis, take me home.
Hello people, this is Rocky Dauni and you are listening to Personality Profile on Joy 99.7 FM with my man Lexis Bills. This is the show that is meant to inspire you. This is the show that is meant for you to aspire to your greatest self.
Hi, this is Nana Window. Listen to Personality Profiles with Lexis Bill. Get inspired, get nourished, and grow to be the best that you want to be. Personality Profile and 99.7 FM. I love it.
Hi, my name is James Ebo White, or everyone calls me Uncle Ebo White. You know, what you'll be 5 years from now depends on only two things: the books you read and the people you meet. On Personality Profile, you meet the kind of people you need to meet to make your transition to your greatness. You want a program that would help you, inspire you, motivate you. Why bother to turn to other channels? Just stay here on Personality Profile and you get all the inspiration you need.
The best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could be sitting in the Hall of Fame and the world will know your name. Good evening, Ghana, and welcome to Personality Profile here on Joy 99.7 FM. I'm Lexis Bill. We're happy to have you on tonight as well because we've got a very exciting conversation that you would love. or tell a friend to tune in, because we have a very enthralling conversation coming up. We're live on Facebook as well. You can check out our video on Facebook, share it in your WhatsApp groups and share it on your pages and let them know PP is on with Lexis Bill. And tonight, we're actually sitting with a man whose life work, it's all about knowledge, leadership, and institutional transformation. He's a seasoned academic administrator, a health services management consultant, and an organizational development expert with close to 3 decades of experience shaping how institutions work, function, and grow. But what makes his story truly remarkable is not just the positions he holds, it's the journey. From his early education in Ghana through the halls of University of Cape Coast, the University of Ghana, to earning not 1, not 2, but 3 doctoral degrees across business administration, geography and regional planning, and public health. Look, his pursuit of knowledge has been relentless and quite purposeful and intentional, if you ask me. He's a man who didn't arrive at the top by chance. He rose step by step, through the ranks of university administration, beginning from junior roles and mastering every layer of the system. Today, he's the Registrar of the Takoradi Technical University. He plays a very pivotal role in the day-to-day administration and strategic direction of the institution. And under his leadership, there's been some reforms, expansion of the academic programs, strengthening of human resource capacity, digitization of the systems. But beyond achievement and accolades lies something even more compelling, a deep commitment to people. And we get to explore that tonight on Personality Profile. We're going beyond the titles, beyond the credentials, beyond the office, and unmasking a man who's full of purpose. Yes, we want to get into the mindset of a man who has dedicated his life to building systems and learning maybe a little too much. You never know. Let's find out more. Dr. Moses Maclean Abnory. In fact, when I put up the flyer for the conversation on my WhatsApp page, a friend came and said, Alex, I think there's a mistake on the flyer. They repeated the doctor 3 times. I said, no, it's not a mistake. He's Dr. Moses Maclean Abnory. Doc, race to the part 3. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you on the show finally.
Yes, finally.
I know we're supposed to have a conversation a little earlier, just around the time you were launching 3 books at a time.
Yes, triplets.
Wow. You had triplets, literally. I mean, 3 books. That was earlier in March.
Yes, that was
you launched University Governance and Leadership, History of Universities, and the University Management and Operations as well. 3 books at a time.
Yes, it happened by the grace of God.
Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you.
But I'm thinking. I mean, I've thought about writing a book at some point, right? And
Great.
even the first one is a chore. You know what I'm saying? But you decided to do 3 at once. Why?
Yes, it was very compelling. The gaps I saw, I couldn't have ignored them. Practically, I had to confront them while dealing with my mentees, while dealing with my direct reports, while dealing with senior colleagues and supervisors. Right away from operations down to management, down to leadership of the institutions I have ever worked. There seem to be yawning gaps. There seem to be lack of Ghanaian-centered material that would speak to our development. Universities are set up for basically one, if I want to put all of them together, one purpose, to direct the development of a nation. That is why the taxpayers' money is used to do that. So if we keep on referencing and relying on foreign materials, then we'll end up getting what we are getting. Right? Because then we are training minds who would have to think about their own environment and circumstances. But the materials you are using are all foreign-based. It creates a lot of gaps, creates a lot of challenges, bringing up and churning out the youth of Ghana. That is the future of our country. So I had to.
And these are not even your first books.
No,
You've written about human relations in Ghanaian organizations, and that's one that I'm particularly interested in. And I was telling you about my background and my relationship with human relations.
Sure.
with HR, and it's quite key. I'm particularly interested in why you decided to talk about human relations in Ghanaian organizations.
Thank you. Exiting from University of Ghana for one of my master's degrees, one lecturer, I think for now he is the head of Central University, now Professor Populampo. He taught us organizational behavior, and that gave birth to this thinking, because I had realized that the HR courses that we have gone through, plus all those things within the social psychology and the rest, hardly do we put premium, deliberately trying to look at how humans, who are the most critical resource for nations' development, for the wonders and the science that we have to do because we are in the image of our creator of this world. Sometimes we are not able to go far because we lack that simple relational issues. Take it even back to personal level. You get up one fine morning and it's like you have everything that a human being should have, yet you are not yourself. There is something lacking that we call intrapersonal crisis, and we all go through it. It's a big issue. If you don't handle that well, you start yelling, you start showing some kind of attitude towards people around you who have not wronged you. And by the time you realize that you were in that intrapersonal crisis, you would have hurt yourself and others. Move it forward. Do you know, I'm not too much into football, but I am told by football fans that the best ever team we had in this country was Abedi Pele and Tony Yeboah's time. Maybe when I leave it here, people understand what that meant. But they never brought anything to Ghana because there was that power struggle, that relational problem within that team. So what I'm simply saying is that, why would I tell you I love you? You love me. We spend time and money, we get married. And in less than 6 months or 6 years, the marriage collapses. Why would I go to school, take my certificate, go for interview, work with Joy FM, and in 6 months or 3 months, either I am sacked or I say, take your job. The soft aspect of how we should relate, how we should handle ourselves, boss subordinate relationship, peer relationship, customer or stakeholder organizational relationships, it's things that we have not paid attention to in this country. Can you imagine walking into a joint to buy food and you are yelled at? Wow. So who is serving who? Can you imagine entering an organization and you ask a question and the person look at you and don't answer? Can you imagine that genuinely and sincerely you have a genuine reason why you can't come to work and your boss says, choose between your sack letter and coming to work even though you are not well? These basic things are issues. And let me tell you, in that book, you will find organizational politics. Yes, we are political beings. But if we don't manage organizational politics well, if we don't manage power balance well, we would have issues. So when I identified that initially, I felt that, let me see how I can put something together that will guide practitioners, that will guide businessmen, that will guide individuals, that will guide anybody who has to relate with one another. Right. So that gave birth to the first book.
Looks totally amazing. I know you've mostly been in administration.
Sure.
But you have taught as well.
Yeah, I teach.
You still teach?
It's my hobby.
Okay. Because when I put out the word that you're going to be on my show, a lot of your students reached out to me.
Sure.
Because I think Jonas, for example, says, hey, I remember those days, UCC, Human Relations in Organizations, level 100.
Exactly. It was a liberal course then. Now even it's taught at the master's level.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. And my students used to love this.
Your students are listening.
I'm grateful.
If you're a student, please let us know what kind of lecturer was he. You know, there are some lecturers who were very hard on us.
Yes.
I actually went to UCC. Yeah? Did you ever meet him? Oh, you didn't meet him.
Okay, that's nice.
You can send us a WhatsApp message on 055-1111-997. Now, let's talk about what many people find unbelievable. First of all, you've got 3 masters.
Yes.
And you have 3 PhDs.
Yes, please.
Really, what was driving you? I mean, who was chasing you?
Nobody. But I believe in the Trinity. And I say this to the glory of God. I don't know how it does happen, but it's like my life, everything is 3.
Really?
Anything I do, before you realize, it ends up 3.
How do you mean?
I don't know, but it does happen. And I think I want to align that to the belief in the Trinity. To the extent that before the pre-lunch, I was here.
Yeah.
Today, I was with Asempa.
Yeah.
This evening, I'm here.
So this is the third
So this is the
time.
third time I'm coming here. So anything that has to do with me is 3.
What else do you have in 3s?
Oh, you want to hear?
Yes.
Right. I have 3 kids, solid gentlemen.
You have 3 boys.
Yes, they are not men. The first one is even a lawyer. The second one is a pharmacist in the making.
Okay.
So 3 strong guys.
Okay, let's list them.
Yeah.
So 3 PhDs.
Yes.
3 masters.
Yes.
3 children.
Yes.
What else?
You want to know? 3 farms.
3 farms.
3 campuses of my school.
You have 3
I
campuses of your
own
school.
a school with my wife. Yes.
And
we
you have 3
campuses.
campuses.
Yeah, everything is 3.
Let me guess. You have 3 cars.
Maybe. Maybe.
Wow.
Yes. So the Trinity really works. I don't know. That's my number, and that is me.
So you believe in.
And even in this country, I've lived strongly 3 major places. Oh yes. I was born and bred in Asante region, Asante Ascori. I schooled all my life mostly in Cape Coast and worked there. And I've done 8 years in Takoradi, Western region. So Western Central, Ashanti 3.
So I mean, beyond the numbers,
Yes.
was it ambition? Was it curiosity?
Yes, the masters, I may say it was the quest to discover knowledge. But for the PhD, definitely it wasn't. Time came, we had a certain kind of perception about administrators starting PhDs and never finished. I don't know, somehow, somewhat, I felt I could try also. So when I began and I joined that trail, and I would like to link this to the story of Jacob in the Bible. You know, Jacob actually went for one wife. Tradition deceived him. They knew very well that until the senior sister get married, there's no way junior will get married. But they kept quiet. The lesson there for all of us as young people, as humans, if you are really, really dear towards something, just have patience, perseverance, and remain focused. Otherwise, Jacob couldn't have had his wife. Having done 7 years, give my wife, said no, until the senior get married. So he continued. Same of my story. 2011, 2012, I dared into this journey. And I had a strategy. The strategy had to do with the fact that when it comes to PhD, it's more of turning the funnel down. You are now zeroing on down to a problem and trying to find solution to it. It's no longer a broad-based kind of thing. And there are structured way of getting a PhD done. Even writing your thesis. And people, there are academics out there when it comes to methodology. Come on, that is their specialty. Literature review, that's their specialty. Analysis, what have you. So I had colleagues. I would sit 2-5 nights, weeks. I would develop and go and show to them, Master, you just remove me. And by the time they bring it back, sometimes like stop. Because these are professors ahead of it, that's their field. So what I'm simply saying is that within 2.5 years, 3 years deadline, I had almost finished and given my manuscript to the HOD for me to go to an OK. He kept it for almost 1 year.
Oh, wow.
And before I could say, Jack, you know, Cape Coast, UK University, I have done 53 times. In and out, 1, in and out, 2, in and out, 3. 53 times. I'm not talking about accommodation charges.
Wow.
So one of the disappointed trips I was returning, it dawned on me, why don't you abandon this and do a plan B? And just around that time, the online PhD thing had started.
Okay.
So I decided to enroll. Luckily for me, I got through with that one. And immediately it landed. People started calling me doctor. Our academic colleagues who had the perception, and even our own colleague who had perception that administrators can't do PhD, twisted the story. And it was like, we told you he can't finish. We are looking for on-site PhD, not online PhD. Where from these two? So my senior colleagues or colleagues who really helped me with the first one heard a doctor and they were like, but you When did you graduate from KNC? We didn't hear. I said, no, it's not KNC. This one is from USA. No. Master, you can't waste our time. You made us spend so much time marking your thesis left and right, package it for you, and you submitted, and you are saying what? You can't waste it. So you have to bring the KNUST one. Is that the situation? I said, yes. So I miss people teasing you because it's an online. I miss people thinking that you couldn't do it because they wanted something like that. I was like, wow. So then, fortunately for me, leadership changed. So the then Department of Community Health that had been upgraded into School of Public Health, the new person had a meeting with those of us who had hung in for about 4 or 5 years. So when I did my presentation, they were like, but this is almost a complete work. So why have you not graduated? Bill, that was the day I wept like something else. Wow. I couldn't control my tears because I thought I had invested so much into that program. Why wouldn't I have it? So to wrap it up briefly, my colleagues at UCC who heard of the story, and I finally informed them that this is why I abandoned and I decided to do the online one. They said, no, that work we touched on is not a bad way, so go and bring it. So I brought it back. They said, go and buy form. I bought form. So they changed it to the geography.
Oh, okay.
So all that I needed to do was to tweak the chapter 1 to 4 and then go to field for new data to support that one.
Okay.
So by 2020, I had graduated from UCC. KNUSC finally got the news and said, Abba, you have tricked us. So why UCC? I said, well, that is my story. So eventually, 2021, I finished the public health too. Wow. So just as I said earlier on, Jacob went for one wife. He ended up 7 double. He didn't get 2 wives anyway. That's not what I'm saying. But I went for 1 PhD.
Yeah.
I ended up with 3.
Amazing stuff. Interesting.
Yes.
But the question is, okay, in this pursuit, in this journey, I know you're not directly in academia. And when I say academia, I mean you're not a teacher. You're not a teacher.
Yes. I'm not within the teaching fraternity.
Exactly. You're more administrative.
Sure.
So if you were, you probably would have considered being a professor.
Well, I think I need to explain this.
Okay.
You see, in the universities, we deal with analogous and we deal with what we call equivalences. So with your masters, which used to be the minimum, a lecturer will enter as an assistant lecturer. The equivalent in administration is junior assistant registrar.
Okay.
But now for the teachers, the entry point of the qualification is PhD. And you enter as a lecturer. Your colleague who enters, even with the masters with some time, is also assistant registrar. From assistant registrar, you all will grow to senior assistant registrar, senior lecturer.
Okay.
Then you terminate as deputy registrar if you are in administration, which is equivalent to an associate professor from senior lecturer.
Okay.
Then you become professor.
Okay.
From the senior lecturer and above, is all research though. You still teach, you do your community service. But for us, once we hit the deputy registrar, whether you have PhD, you don't have PhD, that's the end of you. If you are lucky, like some of us, and you become registrar, they equivalence you with that of the professor.
If you have to choose knowledge or impact, which matters more to you?
The two matters, because without knowledge you can impact. You can impact wrongly. So you need solid knowledge, sound knowledge, to be able to do the needful by impacting. Right, let me even explain it this way. For our colleagues in the teaching, and unfortunately again, we miss it here. We always say they should go and teach, research, and do community service. But I say no. They rather have to go research for the knowledge. Use the knowledge to teach and impact on their students or their subjects or their clients. And then cascade that same knowledge or other knowledges to develop or impact on the community.
Right.
So you really need knowledge to be able to impact.
I would like to go back to your beginnings. From what? Is it Asokore?
Yeah, Asante Asokore.
Asante Asokore?
Yes.
And Kusanaba?
Yes, that is my hometown.
That's your hometown?
That's where my father migrated from.
Okay.
And settled first Kwando, later on at Asokore, and gave birth to me and my siblings. We are 8.
Who was your father?
My father was a watchman, and a night watchman, of course, not the security officer. You see, if I are not there, we call it watchman. If they come from where you come from, they call him security officer. That's the difference.
So there's a difference between a watchman and security.
Oh, of course. Depending on where you are coming from, you will call it watchman.
I see.
So,
how was growing up then?
Well, I was a watchman's son. And actually, being the first son too, you could imagine.
Oh, you were the first son?
Yeah. So let me put it that way, because of where we are, right? He had a son we never got to know from Pando.
Okay.
So I lost a brother. That's unfortunate to do. So my dad would do rice farm. He would do the rice farm with me. My dad would go to do contra. He would go with me. That nearly affected my education a little bit. So even after middle school, Form 4, writing my full name was even a challenge. I was under that kind of strict control. And those days where the bungalow that he was watching over, unfortunately, didn't have electricity. So by 5:30, we are indoors. In the morning, I have to feed birds. So as I speak with you, I am into poultry farming and farming in general. I've done all of. So that's growing up. That's the challenge. I have sat on a pattern before, just for survival. The pattern had, I think, perhaps, possibly, was hunting what they call okusi. What's the name? Rat.
Yeah.
Under a cocoa farm. And I had a wild dog, which was also a very good hunter. So when I'm doing my bad day or contra, trying to find some little money for subsistence or for survival, the dog will be hunting. So one day I had finished that aspect of my work. I'm calling this dog, it won't come. Finally, when it happens like that, it means I have a good game that day. Finally, when I located it, it had dug like 6 feet. And there's a way you can find the other side of it. So I tried applying the fire, smoking it out. Not knowing, I think the snake had swallowed it or something. I have done all I could. So I was trying to use my fingers to prepare and reset another fire. Then it was like I'm drunk. Something is pushing me up. Something is pushing me. So when I was trying, the skin of patterns looks like dry cocoa leaves. In fact, they hide within it. You can't even walk over it. Then I saw that I was sitting on a live something. In fact, that particular evening, if Usain Bolt, if Usain Bolt had been born, I would have beaten him on I would have broken his record.
Wow.
Yes. I was running and this dog was then backing after me. Woo, 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 woo. I left my Charlie Wate, my cutlass, everything. I had to run for my life. I've gone through all this and I say to the glory of God humbly that life can be very difficult, can be very challenging. But with patience, perseverance, and this time let me add determination and focus, one can make it.
If somebody told you when you were in Asokori, weeding in those farms,
yes,
that you will be who you are today, would you believe it?
Honestly, I would have doubted it, but I could also see something coming through. All right, there was nothing that you challenge me with that I won't try. I was that daring that at age 12, one fine evening, I said I was going for hunting. My dad had a colleague who was a hunter. He's late also. Papa Tamale, we used to call him. I did. And I followed the man twice. Walking in the bush. He had a gun on him. I didn't have anything. I was just holding his things. So that is the Moses before you here. Yes, give me any task. I will try to do my best to see whether I can survive and succeed and overcome.
Amazing stuff. Was there a certain career path that you had wished?
Oh, yes. Of course, if my dad was a watchman, you should understand that definitely I wanted to be a military person.
Okay.
And specifically, I don't know what it was, Navy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, when I finished O-levels, I passed very well. I grade 13, you can imagine those days. I wanted to go to Pokuwari because all my colleagues who had extension, I get 12, and unfortunately I had 13. That year, I don't know what happened. Pokuwari Secondary School didn't pick me, but Kumasi High School did. And I said I won't go to school again. I was going to Navy. So I walked straight to the Regional Police Command, and I was looking for the Regional Commander. So I entered, and I spoke to him and told him, this is my case. I have tried Navy. They said that year they were not taking logistics and something. So if it were possible, he should let me join police. The man looked at my results and said, young man, are you sure? Do you know what you want to do? I said, yes. Use this result to join police. No. They will pick you, so you go. So he advised me strongly to go to sixth form. And that's how come I finally landed sixth form, Kumasi High. And I am so proud of that school.
Right.
God, that propelled some of us from Kumasi High School to UCC and to the rest.
Yeah.
And again, I forgot something. Maybe this time let me remind you. All the 3 premier universities, there are 3, isn't it? Legon, UCC, KNUST. I've attended all of them.
You have attended all
Another
of them.
3. I've tasted all of them. Another 3.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you're just joining us, this is Personality Profile. And today we catalog the story of Dr. Moses Maclean Abnory, who's a registrar at Takoradi Technical University. What a story it is. And you started university administration, working at university administration right after school.
Right after my first degree. You see, if you recall 1996, the then government had an issue with the university teachers nationwide. So the university were closed for 9 months. Yeah, so we were the batch that was supposed to have, graduated, but we stayed home for 9 months. So we were made to do 3 months national service. And I was lucky and posted to the Directorate of Public Affairs. And I had this nice gentleman, my first boss, late now, Nana Danso Mensah, may his soul rest in perfect peace, who after 2-3 days oral and verbal orientation dumped on me 14 committees. And I started my university career as a university administrator. 14. And it's one of the inspirations why I've come up with these books if we finally get there. Because the university structures are said that apart from the passing it on, that master apprenticeship thing, there are certain hidden books. I call them hidden books because we are not careful. You can work there for 2-3 years. You may not even know that those documents exist.
Yeah.
Until you get into trouble. Oh, yes. Then they refer you. Have you seen the act? Have you seen the statute? Have you seen that policy? Have you seen this policy? And those, I'm saying, are not quite enough to prepare professionals the way they should be guided.
With the lack of that,
Yes.
were there certain mistakes that you made if you look back?
Personally, I've suffered that.
How?
See, there is a particular course program that I will recommend anybody to take advantage of if you can. MBA is a very good course. And after, it gives you confidence. It opens your eyes into the world and prepare you as such. But I got back to University of Cape Coast, then University Hospital as health service administrator. Elsewhere, you could create an office for a board. I don't know what happened. I decided to do so. One fine evening, my registrar invites me. I ran to his office thinking that I was going to get a praise. I ended up with a reprimand.
Oh, wow.
And he asked me a very simple question. Do you know how many committees and board chairpersons we have in this university? I said, no, sir. So even if there were 50 and we were creating offices for them, where would you, administrator, get an office to work from? No guidance, nothing. Straight from school. I thought I was doing the university so much good. That was my first blow. And there are a number of things, and even the way we carve our language, the way we communicate within the university system, it's one of the complex institutions you can ever find. So you need guidance, both from superiors, from documents, from policies, to be able to survive in a university environment. But I'm still saying there's still that gap that we need to help those who are already practitioners in the system and those who are new recruits and join the trail of administration.
You described yourself as an effectual leader.
Yes.
What does that mean in practice?
In practice, it simply means don't just lead, but lead with service. As we progress, we'll get to know that I've been able to mentor others that within a short period of time, they have even co-authored books. So your leadership must affect people, impact on their lives, carry them along, so that when you are not there tomorrow, people can step in your shoes and even do better. And for me, that has been my prayer. Anywhere I've been, I want those behind me, beside me, to be better than I do.
How do you handle, say, resistance to change?
Yes.
In institutions that are, traditionally rigid?
Yes. You see, people will resist, and I've treated that in the second book I did with Dr. Lawrence and Andani.
Organization Development and Management?
Exactly. You see, people, out of knowledge, can resist. So sometimes you need to use effective communication skills to educate people to understand why they should not appreciate their present circumstances. And once you are able to convince them to appreciate the fact that they can do better, even though with what they have, they are prepared to take the first small steps. And when they begin to pick those small steps towards change, you have to let them believe in the change, and you have to be a participant yourself. And once you are able to do that, yes, resistance definitely may come. But sometimes in change management, we are told that alone is a sign of change. Why are they resisting? It means you have put something into their space. That is why they are even showing the signs of resistance. So you, being the change or the catalyst, must find a way around these people to let them understand that the future is better than where they are. And humans as we are, we always want comfort. So we'll draw through that. And once we draw through that, you need to constantly whip them up with motivation. Even sometimes if you need to manipulate, you do so. And that brings us to organizational politics. That brings us to the power balance I spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is that don't deceive the people. When you know the future is bleak, don't promise them honey and milk. Let them understand that the future can be better if we do A, B, C, F, D with concrete examples. We do the leadership by example. Once you're able to do that, you can. And sometimes when it comes to resistance, it can be from the individual level or group level or even institutional level. The fear of losing power. The fear of losing respect. I am here and I have comfort on my comfort zone. And you say I should change? Why do I change? If you bring the change, would it inure to my benefit? Would I lose anything? And if I'm losing anything, what is the replacement?
Okay. Have you ever made a decision that was right but unpopular?
Severally. You can never be a university registrar and be popular. Oh, yes. You can't. One, your job requires you to do certain communication. A committee takes a decision, for example, and says a student should be dismissed. Behind the boardroom, the students and their parents, the stakeholders, they were not there. But they only saw a letter signed by an individual with your name. Right?
Yeah.
So it is you. And then the kind of work I do, we are the custodians of all the university rules and regulations and the documents. So a vice chancellor may be doing certain things and people will suspect that there's somebody behind and an advisor. They will trace to you. So when the disciplinarian who has been clothed with the powers to discipline is trying to do his work, oh, no. The man is a good man, no. But it's a registrar who is fueling or fanning all kinds of things. So our work is so challenging, and it is the reason why the Kwesi and I also decided to come up with the third book. But if you read it, you can overcome some of these things.
Yeah. I know you introduced a lot of initiatives at the university.
Yes.
Including an Apabosu.
Yes.
What's that? Tell me.
Yes. Exiting from University of Cape Coast 2019 to TTU, some of my mentees, upon hearing that I was leaving, some came in tears, some came with mixed feelings and all that. Then apparently, it dropped in my ears. One of them made a comment. Said, so you are not leaving us anything that we can remember you of, especially how we can prepare for interviews. Because any time we are going for promotional interview, you are the one we run to and you guide us and blah, 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 blah. So that I picked. So it means I can write something about how to prepare for promotions. But entering into that office, sitting on that seat, I noticed that the writing would be difficult. So an idea came. Can I be meeting my rank and file? And Bill, university, as I told you, is very complex. It's huge. In our case, we have 3 campuses. 2 functionally now. I have a deputy registrar in charge of the second campus. Hardly do I have time to visit that campus. So how do I get to know what is happening there? Anything that goes wrong, they will hold you responsible. Look, we have over 140 administrators you are working with. One of them will write a report to you. You read the report and realize that no, this report could have been improved. So I decided that every 2 weeks, I want to meet them one-on-one. Let's discuss from welfare to professionalism to anything. Even how to write our memos, generative memos, our reports, and all those things that we use for promotion. So that brought about early morning, and I had to write to seek permission from the Vice Chancellor to be able to be using that 1 hour or thereabout in meeting the administrators. So it was approved. And I made sure every 2 weeks I stood with them. We took one decision or we took a topic and we discussed. And because it was happening very early in the morning, 8 to 9, before we could meet the 3 or 4 times, I overheard anytime we close, Anopabusu. Then the name gradually became popular.
Yeah.
You know, back in the villages, you go to farm very early in the morning, you get wet by the dew that is on the leaves. So that is the whole thing. So every 2 weeks, we go for Anopabusu.
You've got such a demanding career. But tell me, what has it cost you personally?
A lot. It has affected my family relationship to an extent.
Has it?
Oh, yes, because currently my wife stays in Cape Coast and I am in Takoradi. So how do you do the balance? All right, so any career person operating from different locations will definitely suffer what I've suffered, so I'm not alone in it.
How do you make up for it?
Of course, you have to plan time management. So either I visit or they visit, and make sure the little time you have is quality time. Besides that, I can also say, as you work hard, even though you try to take good care of your health and what have you, definitely it will hit you stress. So as I'm talking with you now, even though I'm aging, I think I've aged faster. People meet me and say, but you used to be very handsome now. You look some way. I said, yes. It's
No,
a
I think they
stress.
lied because, I mean, look, you look very Gen Z.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish, you know. And then again, the other thing I'm hastening slowly to talk about it is that, and listeners will forgive me, that's the truth. You know, sometimes we don't like it. You know, Ghanaians generally, we are hypocritical. Call the truth a spade. Instead of saying it's a big spoon and you're in trouble. Some of us, per our training and what we have gone through, sometimes it's very difficult to say, Bills, it looks as if your shoe, you didn't polish it today. I can't say so. I'll tell you, Bills, your shoe, you should have polished it. So the next time you don't wear a shoe that's not polished. If you work in such an environment, which I thought should make room for constructive criticism like I'm trying to make, you're in trouble. And these days too, it's like everything is politics. Even the way you walk, people can read minutes into it that, because this party is in power, that's why you're walking this way. This, that. And sometimes the worst of it all, things you know not, you have done. And you better keep quiet, because the more you attempt to explain, the more it gains grounds. You know, and these things can affect you emotionally if you're not emotionally intelligent. So these are some of the things that the career we decided to choose and practice it is. But above all, we are serving humans. That is a clarion call from our maker.
Yeah.
And for me, if I'll pay any price to serve my people and serve them well, so be it.
What keeps you grounded?
Prayer, believing in God, and working hard. You see, my dad said something whilst he was alive. He said, Moses, in this world, if you don't fight for yourself, nobody will fight for you. And that, before he finally hit the grounds out of what have you, was always having issues with me. Where he stays, I'm prepared for him, me and my family, the siblings, scoring now. We've turned that one even to a school now. Look, this old man, you go and his cutlass has now become like a little longer than a kitchen knife. And he's using a kitchen stool. And he's still with it. When we have given him everything. And you know what? Anytime I go to see him like that and I'm trying to complain, he says, look, you and your brothers, you've done all this beauty thing for me. If you come to see it dirty or you come to see it weedy, would you be happy? So what I'm still saying that even while struggling to die, my dad was still active working. He wasn't a lazy person. And he's giving that kind of thing to some of us.
How long did he live?
My dad, you know those days. But when we traced it, even if we missed it by 2 or 3. He was 123 years.
123 years?
123 years.
Wow.
If anybody can quickly help us this evening, he should check the very first time they did the Pando routes by manual. If anybody can check, he was part of it.
I see.
If anybody can check from Wali Wali towards the north, and that made Rollins popular in a way. He was part that did that route manually.
Okay.
So we should go and check. And if he used to have a small box, the shillings, the colonial era. He had some coins, the shillings and all that. They are still there. All right. So if somebody lived that time, you can calculate and see.
Well, I'm sure you're blessed with long life as well.
I pray so.
Yeah.
I pray so.
I'm sure you are.
I pray so.
There's so much to you. I wish we had so much time to delve into all of it. But just finally, maybe you can tell us about the books.
Yes.
And where people can get them.
Thank you very much. Yes, so we would forget about the first two, and the others I've done. Those who love education should always try to find out how the colonial, our traditional, our religious, tracing it worldwide, ancient civilizations and all that is captured in the history book. Then, now that we understand the space we are working, the industry we find ourselves, that space, that we know where we are coming from. Present, how do we make our universities, our tertiary institutions effective? And that's the second one that deals with university management and operations. Then the third one has to do with university governance and operations. And permit me, I know this is an English program. I love the Ashanti language, because I was perhaps born and bred up there. They say, adwene, fish. If fish will rot, will get rotten, right? Start from dead. Infinity. So, simply say here is that if a university will survive, then its governance structures must be up and straight.
And by extension, if any organization
will work, it's purely governance structures that will allow the leaders exhibit and apply their leadership skills. But if you have wrong governance structures, no matter how effective you are as a leader, you might not be able to perform.
Is there a way we can get these books?
Yes. For now, we are trying to put it on Amazon and online, but we haven't finished it. We just launched.
Okay.
And then there are some bookshops that we are negotiating with. But if you permit me, listeners might want to contact the following for copies. Let me put the number out there. Oh, sorry. Yep. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Doctor.
Yes.
Moses Maclean Abnory.
Yes. So the first one.
Profile.
Yeah. The first number is 054 378 9706. 054 3789 9706. Then the second one is 024 280 2778. 024 280 2778.
All right, Doc.
Thank you very much.
I have one more question for you.
Please
When
do.
your career is done,
Yes.
what do you want to be remembered for?
I want posterity to say there was this watchman's son who, within the space of his career, impacted and left us some legacies that is still alive. That's it.
Michael Ofei Boahine just sends us a message. He says, Lexis, Dr. Abnory is a man I'm glad to have known. He's indeed an effectual leader who enjoys mentorship, not because of the gain, but to see the young grow. He's just ready to stretch you into your best version of yourself. As a young orator and spoken word artist, I owe a lot of gratitude to him for the support to bring that part of me into the limelight and making me a household name in Takoradi Technical University in the Western region. That's from Michael. Going on to
And
you.
even beyond, he recently performed from the ex-president and the current president.
Oh, nice.
And Michael
Nice.
is somebody I respect.
Nice. We love to hear. Great
Yes,
stories.
yes.
Doc, thank you so much for spending
God
time
bless
with us.
you.
We're grateful.
God bless you. God
Look,
bless you.
it's been a very enthralling conversation with Doctor. Yeah, 3 doctorates. he earned those.
Yes.
Dr. Moses Maclean Abnory,
Thank you
who's the
very
registrar of the Takoradi Technical University here on Personality Profile on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, just so you know, we've got a very special Joy Sports program coming up ahead of the World Cup, the road to the World Cup, and then Uncle Ken will be on your radio at 8:30 after this road to World Cup. Okay, So Uncle Ken is going to be on your radio at 8:30. So don't go away. Wait for him. He's going to be on your radio with the African Sauce, the Soul Serenade. Ken's Music Mix is coming up a bit later, right after the sports program. So don't go away. This is Drive Time on Joy, Personality Profile with Lexis Bill. Enjoy your evening. Bye.
'Cause there's gonna be a day when you're